Good morning. So I think I got the camera set up a lot better today. It's still like kind of a makeshift kind of thing. There's like this like little block thing they gave me that's like got soap on it in the hotel, and I just like pushed it so that the camera wouldn't slip and fall over. So anyway, yesterday was the first day of the grooming convention. I think I would do another get ready with me while I talk about like the grooming convention and stuff. But yeah, yesterday was the first day and it was a lot of fun. I just went in and did my class and I left because I was like, I really don't want to walk around and do too much shopping before like the first day, because I was like, I'll buy everything the first day. So, I didn't really do any shopping. Today I think I'm going to go in on the trade floor though. I have my first class is at 8 today. I went to Walgreens yesterday and I got those scissors that I was talking about because I forgot to bring the scissors to cut my eyelashes with to make them the right length for my eye. Still using, it's gonna be the same stuff from yesterday, so I mean I can go through it all again, but I think you guys get the point. But yeah, like I said, I really just didn't, like I wanted to go and look at the whole trade floor because I follow a lot of the companies on like Instagram and stuff, and I've seen their little setups and all that, and I really wanted to go look at it, but I was like, I do not want to blow all my money the first day. I better wait. I'll go, like I said, probably today. I think I have a break. I've got another one of the like really long classes today. This last one, I'm kind of glad I haven't had to, I know it's ridiculous, but I haven't had to sit in a 5-hour class in like a long time, and that was like, oh my God. I was like, by the end of it, I was so tired. And the instructor kind of went on a little bit longer than, like it was supposed to get out at 4:30, and we actually got out at like, I think it was like almost 4:40, which I know it's like 10 minutes, but I was like so ready to go. And basically at the end of every class, they always do like a Q&A for like the last 30 minutes. And all the groomers, or not all of them, but a lot of the groomers, like as soon as they go into that Q&A, they all just like get up and leave. And I don't know why, I think it's so rude. So I end up sitting there forever. I sat there through that whole Q&A, and you know, I will say that I've learned a couple things in Q&As too, so I don't think it's a total loss or anything, but oh my God, I was just like fading. I was like, oh my God, please, like hurry up. I just didn't want to be rude. I wanted to wait until she dismissed the class to leave. Because I just, first of all, that class, since it was one of the 5-hour ones, it was like $100 for that class. I'm like, I'm getting my money's worth, first of all. And second, I just think it's really disrespectful to just like, while somebody's talking, like just get up and leave. I think I mentioned yesterday that last year was my first year coming here, and the first time somebody did that in a class, I was like, are these people for real? Like, and I mean, I get it sometimes, like, okay, I have sorry, I think Saturday I have a class that ends at 10:30 and the next one starts at 10:30. So like for that, yeah, if they were running over, I would have to leave at 10:30. So I guess that's, you know, and that's maybe what they're doing, or, you know, maybe they're not. I guess it's not really that deep. The instructor never says anything, because I remember whenever it first happened, I like looked at the instructor up front and I was like, look at me with one eyebrow, I look really crazy. But it just, I was like, oh my God, she's gonna like say something. You wanna know something weird too? That, okay, I don't know if I've mentioned this, but before I did dog grooming, I did human hair. I went to human hair school and I got my license and all that. But I had this teacher in hair school that's name was Miss Stokes. I actually really liked her, but this lady that we had yesterday could not have reminded me any more of Miss Stokes. Like, it literally looked like her sister, like, to the point my brain, like, kept calling her Miss Stokes. And I was like, that is not Miss Stokes. She teaches human hair. But I thought that was so funny, like, that this woman was, like, literally her doppelganger. Like, I was like, this is so weird. But yeah, her name was Pam, and she had, like, I don't know if I could pronounce her last name. It was, like, something different. I don't even remember what it was, because I, like, had to, because they give you a little review for all the classes, or, like, a little, what do you call it, like where you like grade the teacher, I guess. Like you just put your experience in the class, and it's like you don't put your name on it or anything. So I copied, like I like wrote her name there, but that got a little dark. Oops. But anyway, so I don't really remember what it was, but it was not Miss Stokes, I can tell you that. But I just thought it was so funny that, like, this is, like, literally, like, my hair school's doppelganger. Sorry, let me fix this eyebrow. I went a little heavy on the, like, I got too dark on the inside corner, and I was like, I don't want that. But yeah, I really did enjoy that class. So we did animal behavior and management. I don't remember if I said that yesterday. So it's like talking a lot about like different personality types and stuff. Like I have a whole sheet I can show you guys, but there's like excitable personalities, which are just like the really, and this can like work for animals or people or whatever, but it's like the like really over the top, like high energy, like all the time kind of people. And then there's like inhibited people. They're really quiet and like to themselves type of people. I talked a lot about that. So that was really interesting. And I really did think it helped as far as like, cause she even gave us like this sheet that's like an evaluations sheet that when the dog comes in, you just like check off this sheet and then you can kind of like evaluate them. And she's talking about evaluating them with their owner. That's one thing I think I need to get a lot better at, is communicating with owners. I think I do okay, but I'm not great. It is hard to like tell them things that, you know, they won't want to hear. So I do struggle with that sometimes. Like especially like matted dogs, I always struggle. Like I don't want to tell their parents like, hey, we're gonna have to shave them. I always try to save it, and that's like definitely my flaw because you can't save it all the time. And I actually had an experience with that the other day. I had a client, and basically she's been coming to me for a little while now. It's been like about a year she's been coming, and she, every time that these dogs come, I talked to her, the first time she brought them, they were like really matted, and I told her that we really need to get them on a schedule, and that I would save the hair, but we really need to get them on a schedule. And I remember at the time, and I like I said, this is like, I need to like communicate better and like get my feelings out there better, because like I probably should have let her go like probably after the first visit, because I remember like I was telling her, I was like, hey, you know, I'll do my best to save this hair, but you know, we really need to get them on a routine or we're gonna end up having to shave them. And I just remember she just kept being like, well, we'll talk later, we might do the routine or whatever. Like I just remember she was like very rude about it. And when she came and got them, she was just so happy and thankful, and like everything was great. She really liked the length. I was able, if you're a groomer, I was able to get like a 4-blade through them on their back and stuff, and I did have to go shorter on their legs, but I made it work kind of thing. And she was like so grateful. She brought him in like a couple weeks later for a bath and all that. So I was like, oh good, you know, like I've been really successful here. I felt really good about everything. And then all of a sudden, like probably like 4 or 5 months passed, didn't see him. I'm friends with her on Facebook, and she hadn't said anything about him. Like they're just getting longer and longer and longer, and I'm like looking at him, like she posted this one picture of the one, and it was like caked in mud, And I'm like, oh my God. And she like matted. It was just bad. And I like wanted to like message her and be like, hey, you know, we really need to get them in because they're looking pretty rough kind of thing. And I didn't do that. That's where I messed up. And I didn't say anything. And it came to me, and this was in November, and it was so bad. Like that one that was like caked in mud, she was pelted, like just solid mats all over. She had poop all over her butt. She'd been in heat, so she had that all over her. She also had mated, so she had that all over her. So it was absolutely disgusting. And I have like videos and stuff of it that I always, if I get a dog that's in like really, really bad shape, I always take videos. And if you're a groomer, you need to do the same thing if you're not, because you just never know, right? And that day, you know, still managed to get like, I think I had to go down to like a 5 blade that day. And she still was like okay with it. She kind of like complained a little bit that they were kind of too short. And I was like, you know, I was like, we talked about this. I was like, you have to get them on a more regular schedule, or we're gonna have to like keep doing them short. And like I said, she'd like let the one dog mate, so she did end up being pregnant. And so of course she didn't come to me for that whole time. And she finally brought her back the other day. This dog, I mean, it was absolutely disgusting. Like this dog was covered, like her face had like pelts in it of poop, you guys. Because, you know, when the moms are having the puppies and stuff, when the puppies poop, a lot of times they'll eat it, and it was just all in her face. I mean, it was like stuck up, like stuck out. I thought for sure I was gonna have to shave her face, but I got her in the bathtub and I just worked at it. I probably worked on her head for like an hour. If you're a groomer, you know that's ridiculous. Like, you know, a typical head that's not matted, like whenever I just like have to brush it out and scissor it or whatever, it takes me 15 minutes tops. So to sit there and demat a head for an hour, I shouldn't have even done it, if we're being honest. I should have just said no from the get-go. But I didn't, again. So this time, the only thing I was able to get through, this was the other day, the only thing I was able to get through the fur was a 7 blade. I was just like, you know what? I'm not trying to do a 4 blade again. I'm not gonna try to do 5. We're doing what goes through, and what went through was a 7. So that's what we did. And she was pissed. She made a big old stink in the lobby, was like very rude to my coworkers. And then when I came up there, she's like, well, I just don't understand. Because I also charged her more because I had to get poop out of her dog's face and sit there and demat her for like hours. I mean, they literally were there all day, because these are doodles, by the way. I don't know if I said this, and if you're a groomer, I already know you're rolling your eyes. I don't hate doodles, but I know a lot of groomers don't particularly like them, and they don't like them because of their owners. And this woman is like a really, honestly, prime example of like doodle owners that groomers don't like. It's because of stuff like this that they don't bring them in on a schedule. Like, even when you try to talk to them about it, they don't want to bring them on a schedule. They complain about pricing, even though they paid like $1,500, $2,000 for, I'm sorry, it's not purebred. I'm not gonna have that argument. If it's a mix of 2 dogs, it's not purebred, okay? That's all I'm gonna say. But anyway, so you paid a lot of money for this like not even purebred dog. The least you could do is get it on a regular grooming schedule and maybe brush it once or twice at home. And that's the thing too, like the dogs, like I said, it was a 4 blade, and if you're not a groomer, that's pretty short. So there's no reason that she couldn't have just like brushed their head and tails, but she didn't. Like, she never would. Every time they'd come, their tails and their heads would be pelted, and their whole body was pelted. And like just that one time they came for a bath. Every other time they like never came. So anyway, that was, you know, it was my fault. I should have really communicated from the beginning, like, you know, hey, because like part of it too, like to give myself a little credit, is like every time she would drop them off, she's like, you're gonna kill me, I'm so sorry, like, you know, they just got in really bad shape, and you know, life happens. Like, her stepdad died at one point, and I was like, you know, I really do feel bad because I lost my stepdad. So and actually her stepdad died like while my stepdad was like in the hospital and everything, and like all like that stuff had been really hard with him. So I was like truly empathetic for this woman. Like I really did feel awful for her, but she came in, like I said, rude as fuck to everybody, and she's like, well, I'm not coming back. And I was like, okay, like goodbye, good riddance kind of thing. Like I hope she doesn't, honestly. Like I don't know. And maybe if she comes back, we can have a better conversation. And that's going to be the only way that I'll allow her to come back, is if like we truly have like a good conversation about how she should be treating her dogs, especially because the one that she just bred made her almost $10,000. I saw how much she was selling the puppies for, and I can do math. So I'm just saying it was a lot of money that she's made off of that dog that is literally poop covered. On her face, even, you guys. It was all over her legs. I mean, it was disgusting. And it was like one of those things, like, you know, a normal person may have been like really grossed out, like gagging and stuff, but I just like wanted to cry for this dog. Like it was so sad, and you know, it is what it is. And also this woman like told me the first time she came that she's been to like every grooming shop in the area, and they've all shaved her dogs, and all groomers know when you hear that, you're like, oh, here we go. Like probably matted dogs every time kind of thing. Like, you know, sometimes like, and if you're a grooming customer, like just know you kind of give yourself away when you say stuff like that. When you say, oh, I've been to every grooming shop in town, they've all shaved it, you're not telling the groomer like, you know, all the groomers in town suck. You're telling the groomer, I bring my dog really matted to the groomers all the time, and then when they have to shave it because I haven't been taking care of my dog, then I get mad. That's what you're saying. But yeah. Anyway, I think that communicating with your customer is really important, because I think maybe if we communicated a little bit better, then maybe that wouldn't have gone that same way. Maybe it would have, I don't know. But I do think that communication is really important. So I'm going to try to like make sure that I'm having like the right conversations, because like I said, I think I really just should have said from the get-go, like when she brought him back that second time and they were like really pelted like that, I probably should have said something then. But like I said, that was right after her stepdad died. I'm coming up with excuses, and I know that, but I'm just saying I messed up. But you know, it wasn't all me either. She knew full well her dogs were matted, and she just expected that every single time that I was going to find a way to save the hair. And yeah, I could have probably tried to leave it longer than I did, but is that very nice to the dog? No. And I'm not here to, you know, like if you want your dog to look nice and not be shaved down, then you need to brush it. And if you're not brushing it, then you can't expect that it's not going to be shaved down. And I mean, and also if you don't want to brush your dog, or you don't like to brush your dog or whatever, get it on a more regular schedule. You can get into your groomer, like your groomer's not going to ever turn you away unless they're like booked, you know. But like you can get away with like, you know, being like, hey, can I come up like once a week and maybe just do a brush out or something, like not even a bath, you know? And most groomers are going to go for it. I can't imagine somebody being like, no, you can't get your dog on a super regular schedule, because it benefits the dog too. Like I have one that comes like every 2 weeks, and he comes in the door, he's so excited, he's wagging, he's happy to see me, and he doesn't even really like his bath, you guys. He's so sweet, and just like, even though he doesn't like his bath and he tries to bite me for like his nails and stuff, he's like a little Bichon Poodle mix, and he just has like, I just call him sassy. That's like, he would never like bite me. It's like, you know, if I like hit a tangle or something, he'll kind of like snap at me, but it's nothing like severe. It's just like him letting me know, you know? So, you know, but it's a lot more enjoyable for a dog like that, and Blackjack in particular. If he wasn't on a schedule like that, I definitely don't think he'd be a very easy dog to groom, because he does get sassy, and I mean, he's adorable and I love him, so I still probably would work with it. And this dog comes every 2 weeks. I mean, this dog is just perfect. Like, he is so good for his grooming. And like I said, if he wasn't on a schedule, I'd probably have a really hard time with Blackjack, just because he's got such a sassy little personality. I could see him being very difficult for grooming if he wasn't so regular. But I mean, his mom and his dad are just like the sweetest people I've ever met, and I just adore them. And having their dog on such a good routine has made Blackjack's life easier. Also, I hardly charge anything for Blackjack because he comes every 2 weeks. I'm like, I try to be very reasonable on the pricing because he's never matted, because he's always here. Like, sometimes he might get a tangle, or if he's getting like too long, then he gets a little bit more matted than normal. But anytime that he comes like that and he's starting to get a little bit matted, normally they already know and already ask for a haircut. And if they don't, then I tell them it's time for a haircut. And they're like, okay. And then we do a haircut. It's just, you know, it's so nice, like, having people like that. But, you know, the world's not like that. Not everybody is, obviously, as that lady the other day. And it does get upsetting. And, like, you know, because you're like, you get frustrated because you're like, this is a living creature, and like, you are more concerned that I shaved your dog than you are that you weren't taking care of your dog, and now because of that it got shaved. You know what I mean? Like, instead of like being like, hey, like, you know, I should have brushed my dog, and if I brushed my dog, then we could have left it long today, and like, I shouldn't have been letting them live like that. But instead, like, you're gonna be like, you know, you essentially need to figure out how to like not shave my dog. Like, no, you need to figure out how to brush your dog, honey. Like, that's not how this works. Like, because the thing is like, when you're trying to put a dog through that every 4 months or so, like, first of all, they're so out of practice. Like, they, these dogs in particular, Doodles, and other groomers may have noticed this too. I've noticed with Doodles, they have like a lot of anxiety. Like, a lot of times they have like really bad separation anxiety. They're just like really anxious dogs, in my opinion. And somebody may really not agree with me on that, but that's just what I've noticed, is that they seem just like highly anxious. And these dogs in particular, every time she dropped them off, I mean, they were just like a nervous wreck because they never came. And they were also like, they not only did they never come to the grooming shop, they never went anywhere outside their own realm. So anytime they left their home, it was stressful for them. And then she would always like kind of make it worse by like kind of babying them with it. So, you know, it was just a bad situation. So if we're being honest, when she said to me, we won't be back, my first gut reaction was to feel relieved. So, and I'm like a really big person on like I'm a what will be kind of person. Like, and if it's not meant to be, like, if I'm not meant to be her groomer, then I'm not meant to be her groomer. And, you know, maybe she'll come back one day when every other shop in the area has shaved her dog too. And maybe we'll have a discussion and we'll talk about, like, you need to actually get them on a schedule, or just live with them being shaved every time. Like, there's, you know, we don't have like a magic wand, and if your dog's uncomfortable, we need to make them comfortable. And that's honestly, making your dog comfortable is a lot more important than trying to keep hair that's matted and tangled. Because the thing is too, a lot of times when you try to save the hair, like, it ends up getting so damaged from trying to demat it that it'll like mat worse the next time anyway. I have noticed that. I like learned that at the grooming convention last year. As soon as I said it, I was like, oh my God, that makes so much sense. Because I have had some that I like fully dematted, and then when they came back the next time, it was like even worse. And you're like, what the fuck? But, yeah, so just don't be afraid to have that conversation with your customers. I need to take my own advice and also not be afraid, but it's just, you don't want to give somebody bad news. I don't know how doctors do it, and people like that have to give like really bad news to people, or veterinarians. Oh my goodness. And they have to tell like somebody that their dog, like my mom's dog last year, I don't know if I mentioned this, he was like my mom's and like my dog, kind of like, I was 16 when I got him, so I was still too, like, I mean, yeah, I could have taken care of a dog obviously at 16, but like, you know, I was still in high school, and he really just, like, my mom took over the duties of him, and he really took to my mom. And he passed away last year, and basically he had a large tumor on his spleen, and it was connected to his liver, so there was no way for them to safely remove it. So my veterinarian had to call my mom and tell her, like, you know, there's nothing we can do. And I know, like, I mean, obviously it was really hard on us, but I know that had to be really hard for her to say, because we have a really good relationship with my vet, you guys. Like, I have a really awesome vet. Like, she was literally at my grandma's funeral. And actually, the receptionists were both at my stepdad's funeral, too. And I would be willing to bet the vet would have been there. But we had it on, like, a Tuesday or something. It was, like, a random weekday, so I'm sure she had to work. But she would have been there, I'm sure, because she was there for my grandma's funeral. Because my grandma, she was really big into, like, she did cats. Well, she had dogs. My grandma was just a big animal lover. I think that's where I really get it from. But towards the end of, like, my life, towards the end of her life, whenever when she was doing rescue and stuff, she did cats. And she was always at the vet with one of the cats. Like, she was that lady, if there was a cat that was around that needed help, they called my grandma. She would come and she'd take all the kitties, and she really, like, she saved so many lives. And it's like, I remember, like, when I was a kid, she just came home one day with, like, God, I wish I could remember. I remember the total at the time of the cats that she had in her house was 14. She had gone to PetSmart to just, like, do regular shopping. And basically this guy had come in and he was like, he had a whole box of kittens. And he was like, will you guys take these? Well, PetSmart, like, yeah, they have, like, rescues that work with PetSmart, but PetSmart does not take those animals. Like, even those cats and stuff in the back, if you look, they're usually from, like, an outside rescue. It's not like PetSmart just keeps pets. Like, they have, like, you know, small animals, but they don't really keep animals like that. So they couldn't take it, like, obviously. And this guy, like, basically said, like, okay, well, I'm just gonna go dump them then. So my grandma took them and we had, like, all these kittens. And actually, you know, what's really sad is that the last one of those kittens that we had passed away, like, a couple weeks ago, actually, because this is a long time ago. I was in elementary school when that happened. And she worked with a rescue called Kitten Action, and they found, like, a lot of them homes. And then the ones that didn't find homes, of course, stayed with her. So she ended up keeping, like, 3 of them, I think. So it wasn't bad. And then my mom took one of them. But they all died of, like, cancers and stuff. Isn't that so crazy? Like, I wonder if it's, like, a genetic thing, or, like, it starts to make you wonder. I hear a lot of animals dying from cancer. I'd like to know more about that. Like, is this something that we're feeding them? You know, is it something in their food that's giving them cancer? Because, like I said, my mom's dog died of cancer. We've had a ton of cats die from cancer, and, you know, it does kind of get you wondering. You're like, is there, like, what is happening, you know? That was my shoe, and I was like, what is that? My shoe, like, squeaked against the chair. I'm drinking a water this morning. I'm proud of myself. My first class is really early, so I figured I would just go to Starbucks on the way to class. Yeah, so I haven't even unlocked my watch this morning. Oh my god, I was gonna say something about this band. Okay, so it's really cute, I think, and I do like that, but this band has been the biggest pain in the butt. I still have the ones that my watch came with, so it's not the end of the world. I can just use those, but there's, like, a really sharp, pokey piece on this watch that, like, first of all, I scratched myself on, and, like, when I'm handling dogs all day, like, I don't want to accidentally, like, scratch somebody with that little sharp, I don't even remember where it was. Oh, I think it's on the clasp or something. There's just, like, a tiny piece of metal that was sticking out. And it was so sharp. Oh yeah, it is on the clasp. It's, like, at the bottom there. And like I said, I just really worry about, like, accidentally, like, hurting the dogs or scratching them with that. So not extremely in love with this. Like, I got it at Target. So if you're thinking about getting one from there, one of these, like, metally looking ones. First of all, adjusting the clasp to fit my wrist was the biggest pain in the butt in the world. Like, oh my god, I was so frustrated. And basically there was, like, this piece you had to, like, pop open, and then, like, it would just, like, slide around, you know, like, you had to just, like, undo that one little part. And they said to use, like, a pen. So I was, like, using a really nice pen that I use whenever I book appointments and stuff for my, like, appointment book, and it ripped the ball out of the pen, so now that pen doesn't work. I was like, why would you say to use a pin if it's gonna break my pin? I shouldn't have even done it, but I ended up having to jam like, do y'all know what the metal rat tail combs look like that people use for foiling? I have one of those in my car because I use it whenever I do my mom's hair. I keep it in my car so I don't accidentally leave it at home. But I had to use that, and then I finally got this open, but it was such a pain in the ass. Like, I literally would never recommend this to anybody. So I was thinking about it this morning whenever I put this watch on. I was like, I need to say something about that because maybe I can save somebody 15 bucks on this watch band that's not very good. It just, like, I would probably give it like a 2 out of 10, and that's literally only because it's cute. I would give it like a 0 out of 10 if it wasn't cute. So, anyway, that's just my opinion on this watch band. Maybe somebody else really enjoyed it, but for me, it was not very good. I've been using it though. I do, and like, it sucks because I like how it looks so much better than the one that came with it, but you know, it is what it is. It's like a scratchy, and I don't know, I just like had a lot of complaints about it. Okay, so I did buy those little scissors, so let's do the eyelashes. Okay, I showed these yesterday, but just in case, I must use the thing that's holding this up. These are the Bronze Beauty by Eylure, the Vegas name. You know what's funny? I was listening to Peter Mon this morning, and he was talking about how he says Vegas, and he says, like, I don't know, it was so funny when I was listening to him, I didn't hear what was wrong about what he was saying either. Like, it sounded like he was just saying Vegas, but it just like really reminded me of that conversation I had yesterday about how I say milk or whatever. I thought that was so funny that he ended up like kind of having the same conversation about, like, he literally said, he was like, I don't understand because when I say it, like, I don't hear what's wrong. So, yeah, I thought that was really funny. There we go. All right. So I always just like kind of like hold it up to my eye to kind of get an idea of how big I need it, and then I cut it. Okay. There's one. Oh, and this is like, I don't know if you can be able to see this. Like, you see how it like kind of has a thicker band? That's what I like more prefer. I talked about that yesterday too. That the other ones that I was wearing yesterday, I didn't really like because I didn't like the band on it. That's what I mean. I really like a thicker band because it's easier for the glue. When it doesn't have a thicker band, I noticed that this glue will just like run down the eyelashes, and don't like that because it kind of ruins them. But when it has like a thicker band like this, it's just like a lot easier. So, like I said, I like to get a good amount on the outside corners. But yeah, so going back to the pet fair, class I did yesterday was really good. I noticed that I got this like little booklet thing that just like tells like the map and like all that, just kind of like the basic info. And I noticed on the back there was something that said like pet towel. I think that was a free sample. I was like, I'm about to go get me a free sample. I love free samples. That's one thing I really like about Bardell Bows, is the one place that I really have like a shopping list for. Oh, I need, like, well, I guess I do. Like, you can say I need these things because my customers really, really love the bow ties and stuff from Bardell. I started doing that instead of the bandanas like everybody does, because sorry, I'm trying to make sure this isn't too long. It's a little too long. yeah, I wanted to do something a little bit different. I noticed a lot of my customers didn't really care for the bandanas, if we're being honest. God, these scissors suck too, and they're like $8. But like a lot of people, like I would put it on, like I work at like a daycare / grooming place, and like the daycare dogs, for example, it's like I would put a bandana on them, and the next day when they came in, they weren't wearing it. And so that tells me like they're just like immediately throwing it away. Like they just weren't into the bandanas. So I decided I wanted to try out Bardell bows. I ordered a couple different little things for like with my Christmas money, and I really liked all the stuff I got, and I just started like posting on like Instagram and stuff, which I always do. If you don't follow me on Instagram, it's Grwm by Janine. It's JEANINE. NINE. Everybody wants to just put NIE. It's not. There's an extra N in there because it's Janine, not Jeannie. But anyway, I put it on there on my Instagram. I really like the bows, just like being honest. Like that's just what I really liked my bows, and all the customers seemed to really like them too. And Bardell Bows actually reached out to me and sent me like a little gift box. Like they were like, thank you just like for being so nice. And basically just like thanked me for leaving a review that I like would have done anyway. I do this all the time. Like I always tag all the stuff I use because I just want to make it easier. Like if a groomer is watching, or if a groomer is looking at the picture or whatever, and they see something in the picture that they like I use like the paw mat and stuff like that, and I always tag all that stuff, like especially like the bows and stuff, because I get a lot of questions about them. So I just tagged them, and I thought that was so nice that they sent me a little gift box. But yeah, I really, really love Bardell bows, y'all. If you want to try something a little bit different for your clients, I just suggest getting a couple, put them on your favorite clients, and just see what happens. That's what I did. And my clients, like even the regular ones that were just happy with the Grwms, they didn't really care either way whether it had a bandana or not. They were living for these bows and bow ties. Like they have like some for like boys and some for girls, and like they have some that just go on collars, and they have some that are like collars, so if someone comes in and they're only wearing a harness or something, you can slip one of these bow ties on them. Oh my goodness. And they just came out with these feather boas. Ooh, maybe, you know what would be fun to do? Do you want it? Do you guys want to see like a haul? Like maybe once I go get all my Bardell bow stuff, we can do like a Bardell bow haul. I know that Bardell bows would like so appreciate me doing that. Because they're just so kind. Wait, what did I do with that? Oh, I put it in my book bag. I'll be right back. My boyfriend's in there sleeping, so I'm trying to be quiet. I knocked my lash down somewhere. Oh no, where'd it go? Oh no. Where did it go? Am I stepping on it or something? Where'd it go? Oh my god, you guys. One of the eyelashes just like vanished. Stick to me or something? Where could it have gone? Oh my god, that's so crazy. That is so crazy. Is it in my hair? Where did it go? Oh my god, you guys. It literally vanished. Now I'm scared it's on me. Where could it have gone? Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm like looking in the mirror to like make sure it's not on me. What the heck? I can't find it. That is gone. It's gone. I guess I'm just gonna, unfortunately, I have a whole nother box. That is so funny. What the fuck? I can't believe that. I really want to find it. The glue's gonna be dry by the time I do, but oh my god, that is so crazy. Okay. You guys, I really don't see it. It vanished. That's why I'm scared it's on me. I'm scared like it's gonna get me or something. I'm not necessarily scared. I'm more so thinking like I'm gonna be at the grooming convention and somebody's gonna come up behind me and pull an eyelash out of my hair, you know? Is it in my hair? Where could it? I really don't understand where it could have gone. That is so insane. Like, where did it have gone? Guys, I can't believe that. Well, I brought that little book I was talking about. I'll show it to you in a second. I'm just so blown away by that. I just keep looking because I'm like, surely it's gotta be here. Like, where could it have gone? That's so crazy. I'll put the other one over there. I just can't believe that. You're like, I know, you've said that like 6 times. But I'm like, where could it have gone? It was just there. Now I gotta do this all over again. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I really appreciate companies that do send out things to people that take the time to like review. It's super nice. And not every company does that, so I thought Bardell Bows was just so nice for doing that. But yeah, like I said, I think I'll do like a little Bardell Bows haul because I really do love their bow ties and stuff. I'm really excited about, they came out with these like feather boas. I can't believe I lost that eyelash, man. That is so crazy. Like, seriously, is it on me? You guys. It's just so crazy. Anyway, now this vlog's, oh no, actually, I got my makeup done a little bit faster today, it seems like. But yeah. That just blew me away that I just lost that eyelash that quick. Where could it, I really don't know where it went. Oh yeah, my boyfriend did make it down here, by the way. I think I mentioned yesterday that he was supposed to be coming. So he's here. He's probably like, who are you talking to in here? But I've like gone back and forth for like a while now whether I wanted to like do videos, and really Peter Mon was like that kind of like final push, because he always really encourages people to start a YouTube. And you know, it's like I go back and forth because I'm like, well, what do I even have to say? And, you know, who cares and whatever. And it's like, well, you know, maybe some people out there do. And he was talking to Amelia Fart, and he was talking about like impacting people's lives and stuff. And I was like, wow, like maybe there is somebody out there that would be like impacted like by my video, you know, like maybe somebody out there would appreciate listening to me. So, I decided I wanted to start doing it. I done like a couple little videos a while ago about like some grooming techniques and stuff like that, but I'm trying to open up my own business, and whenever I do that, I'll try to do more grooming videos. It's hard where I'm currently at to do grooming videos because it's a daycare and it's like really quiet in there, so you can like hear everything, and it just like feels really awkward to sit in there like recording when you know full well like the other person like in the other room is probably listening, you know? I really still want to find that eyelash. It's really bothering me. I just don't know where it could have gone. That's really what's getting me about it. It's like, where could it have gone? I don't think they were in frame for the video, so it's not even like I can go back and watch and figure out where they went. Nope, they're not in frame. That is so frustrating. I just bought those. I'll just tell my boyfriend if he manages to find a stray eyelash somewhere to put it with the rest of them. I don't want the cleaning people to find it and be like, this woman is disgusting. Maybe once I clean up this counter, maybe it'll come out. Because I'll clean off the counter after I'm done putting my makeup on. Because I always like to spread everything out everywhere, you know? Sorry, y'all, I'm putting my eyelash on, so I've got concentration going. Like I said, I wish I could put the camera where you guys could see what I'm doing right now, but there's nowhere in this bathroom. Okay, there's one. I can't believe I lost that eyelash. Keep looking. I can't accept that it's just gone. The only thing I can think is if it followed me all the way out there, somehow stuck to me and like hung on until I like went out into the other room to grab that lip gloss. It's not a lip gloss, it's like a liquid lipstick. Okay. And one more time. I feel like I hold my breath whenever I'm putting eyelashes on. Okay. I really can't believe that those eyelashes are gone. Is it on me? Like, for real? Where can it have gone, you guys? That is insane. I really can't find it. I really don't know where it went. Okay, now I'm gonna do this liquid cat, oh, there it is, liquid cat suit upside down. There we go. And this is in Nudie Patootie. I don't think you'll be able to see that. Yeah, I'm using my iPhone camera, so that's not gonna focus. It's called Nudie Patootie. time. I got to go see Fleetwood Mac a couple weeks ago. I've got one of their songs stuck in my head and I just love them so much. I was actually listening to them on the way down here. I'm actually really excited because there is a vegan place near here that I want to go to. I'll probably do that before I leave. So we're here till Sunday. Okay, now I always just let my lips dry. And keep looking around. You know what? I'm gonna actually talk about this. So this is the like little book you get. They have them all around the show program. So this is what I saw. I said, what? You haven't stopped by Ray Pet booth 309 for your free wet pet towel sample. Hurry up. Ray Pet. I wish they don't have a picture of the towel or anything. I wonder what it looks like. But yeah, this basically has your contests, your show schedule. I'm not gonna be worried like this. Seminar overview, speaker and judge bios, floor plans, exhibitors, sponsors, and certification testing. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know they did that. I'm gonna actually look at that page real quick. Let's see what it says. It doesn't really clear much up. Oh man, that's cool. The creative grooming, that little logo. Can you guys see that? It's like 2 poodles. That's really cool. Yeah. Oh, and that one on the bottom is the one I took yesterday with the ISCC. International Society to Canine Cosmetologists. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that's what it stood for. She just kept saying ISCC. See her last name? Loritzen? I guess that's how you say it. But yeah, I was kind of excited that I saw that there was a free sample on the back. Is it me? Do you guys remember back in the day, Beyonce came out with this like straightening stuff and it was in a bottle that looked just like this. And every time I see this, that's what I think of. I think it was on the cover last year too, because I've seen that bottle before. It's also like kind of ironic. Groomers, do you notice there's nail clippers next to them, but the toenails don't look done? You might not be able to see because it's blurry. All right, you guys, well, I think I'm gonna go and get my Starbucks and probably call my mom and talk to her for a little bit, catch her up on everything. I've had to talk to her since, I know that's a lie. I had to talk to her after the convention. I talked to her for a little bit, but while I was talking to her, I got, the convention center and everything is right by the Atlanta airport. I somehow, like, when I was leaving the convention center, ended up, like, in their, like, little driving area, and I got stuck in there, and, like, I kept, like, going in circles, and I was getting so stressed out, so that was, like, most of what our conversation was about. I'm trying to think somewhere I could put these eyelashes so they're not just sitting there like that. Thing that they give is not very good about, like, for if you have to put them back on there. Maybe I'll just do this then. Still haven't found that eyelash, you guys. If I find it, I'll let you know. I hope I do, because these are like $11 to just like not even be able to wear them one time. I would be kind of upset. I can't believe that. I still can't. I just keep checking the train. It's like, I just don't know how far they could have made it, you know? Oh, God. And I can, like, just get all crumpled in there. Here we go, just stay like that. The one I have left, that didn't fly out on me. Wherever that one went. Oh yeah, by the way, quickly before I go, I used this Frizz Dismiss again this morning. It's like, okay, I'm still like same feeling about it, and this is still a 10 out of 10. It's like all soft mega conditioner, really good, love that. But as far as that other one, not so good. And I do have like a large bruise on my leg from yesterday whenever I stood up and hit the counter. Got a bruise from it, knew I would. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys probably a little bit later if I end up shopping. And if I don't end up shopping, then I'll see you tomorrow. I just had to come on real quick and say that I found the eyelash and it was in my hair, and I think I said that in the video. Actually, I didn't find it, my boyfriend did. I came back in after my convention, so you know somebody was behind me. Like, this bitch has a fucking eyelash just stuck in her hair. It was so stuck in there too because it was just like, I like just put fresh glue on it, so it was like glued in there. But I just went to the grooming convention and came back, and I like came back in the bathroom to look for my eyelash again, and Derek was like, it's in your hair. I was like, anyway, so case of the missing eyelash has been solved. No worries.